Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Unit 8.4 Notes, Video 2. If you stumbled upon this on accident, go back and watch the first video because this is going to make no sense to you. Okay? Alright, now we're on the back page of the notes. So what I want you to do is look at these 6 problems. Why don't you see which ones I want you to write SADMAP on the ones that you think can be solved by inverse operations. Okay, so remember that means if there's no linear term, you can solve it by SADMAP. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do that. Remember, you're looking at all 6 of those. Okay, so just at a first glance, the only ones that I think we can do, that doesn't have a linear term. I'm jumping down to 8 and then 7. Oops. Okay, because that's a linear term, that one has 2 linear terms, and that has linear terms. Okay, so right now, these are the only guys that work. So let's go ahead and do it. SADMAP, first thing I have to do, same as before, get the x by itself. So we cancel subtraction with addition, and we get 5x squared equals 605. We have to divide by 5. So x squared equals, I don't have my answer in front of me, so 605 divided by 5, that equals 121. It's a positive, which means there's going to be 2 answers. You just can't be like, well, the square root of 121 is 11, so that's my answer. Remember, that's only half true. It can be a positive or it can be a negative 11. If this is positive when we're taking the square root, that means there's going to be 2 answers. Okay? All right, number 7. You guys up to trying one by yourself, or do you want me to walk you through it? I can't really hear what you're saying. So I'm going to let you try it on your own. Pause the video, and good luck. Okay, for all of those who's, Mr. Grice, I still didn't get it. SADMAP. So first thing we're doing is subtracting 70. And we get 100 minus 70 is 30. To get the x by itself, we divide by 2. All of this, guys, is the same. And we get that x squared equals 15. And to get rid of the square, we do the inverse, which is the square root. It's a positive answer, so I'm going to have 2 of them. And I need to know what the square root of 15 is. And it's 3.872. So 3.872. And remember, we need to round to 2 decimal places. I'm rounding. It can be plus or minus. 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. So we get x is equivalent to plus or minus 3.87. Okay, number 8. Number 8, we also said that we're going to do SADMAP. So let's go. First thing we have to do is add 5 to both sides. And we get 1/2 x squared. 27 plus 5 is 32. The x isn't by itself yet. There's the 1/2. And to get rid of a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. So 2 over 1, which is the same thing as 2. 32 times 2 is 64. Oh, I'm really going to like this one. You know why? It's a perfect square. It's a positive, which means I'm going to get two answers, a plus and a minus, and the square root of 64 is 8. So we get x equals plus or minus 8. Okay, now number 9 we said there's a linear term. So if there's a linear term, I can't do square roots, or the inverse, I'm sorry. So we have to solve it a different way, and we're going to solve by factoring. So to solve by factoring, I have to get everything on one side where the quadratic term is positive. This is what we've been doing, so we have to add the 6 to the other side. Those cancel. We get 2x squared plus 2x plus 10 plus 6 is 16. Okay, well, there is a GCF. So I'm going to take out the GCF, which is a 2, and then our remainder is x squared plus x plus 8 equal to 0. So we're looking for numbers that multiply to get to 8 and add to get to 1. So 1 and 8, 2 and 4, is there anything that does that? No. And so what we can say is that this can't be solved by factoring or inverses. Okay? Because remember, we said that there are 4 ways to solve it. And at this point, we've only learned 2. And the 2 that we've learned, we can't do it yet. Okay. Number 10. Number 10, we said that this is a linear term. So we have to do factoring. Let's take a look at our 2 quadratic terms. The 5 is bigger, so I'm going to move everything to the left. So minus 4x squared, minus 4x squared, add 2x, add 2x. Whoa, look, those cancel. And we're left with x squared plus 8 equals 0. Well, wait a second. There's no linear term now. They canceled out. That's great. But let's check. Can I factor this first? It's a quadratic binomial. Maybe I can do different. Oh, I can't do difference of 2 squares because that's subtraction. Okay, well now let's do SADMAP. So I have to subtract the 8 to the other side, and I get x squared equals negative 8. So I'm going to square root, but can I take a square root of a negative? No. And if you don't believe me, check your calculator. Up, no real solution. So this one is no real solution. All right, last one, number 11. My quadratic term, it's positive right now, so I'm going to move everything over to the left side, which means I have to add 11x, and then I have to add 12. Those guys cancel, and we get x squared. 11 plus 12 is 13x plus 12 equals 0. Is there a GCF? Nope. So if you're to multiply those guys, You're looking for numbers that multiply to get to 12 and add to get to 13. Yay, 1 and 12. And guess what? We can do our shortcut because our leading coefficient is 1. So we get x plus 1 and x plus 12 equals to 0. And then we can solve those right away. I'm putting them in numerical order. X equals negative 12 and x equals negative 1. Whoa, Mr. Grice, how'd you get that? Well, remember, anything with a variable, we set it equal to 0. Okay? All right, guys. Well, that's the end of Algebra Unit 8.4 notes. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off. Thanks for watching.